Good day. How are you? Amazing. Wow. As I make my coffee this morning. Oh, some of you are just like, rise and shine, but I've already put miles on my car. I had to drop off my son, my daughter, come back home, drop my other son to school. You hear that lovely coffee pouring right there? Sometimes you just need to get that. But let me tell you, something exciting happened yesterday that blew my mind. But I wasn't actually surprised. I was just blown. Let me tell you. Well, well. So yesterday, it's a lazy Sunday, and I'm home, and we're just hanging out, and I'm basically like folding laundry, getting the things together every Sunday, as I calm down for the day. That's what I do, it's part of who I am. And my daughter, she's so funny. She's sitting there and she's like, she gets up and she sighs. Mind you, she's one. She goes, and I'm like, did she just do that? But I don't say anything. And then I hear her go, and then she walks over to our back door and she goes, bye. And we just start laughing. We're like, okay, where are you going? Then she grabs my sweater. And I'm like, oh, she's so cute. Like, what is she doing? She hands me my sweater. And she's like, bye. So I'm like, oh, thank you, Mom. I'm not cold, but thank you. And then she goes, we have like a little gate in our hallway so that like keeps her and the dogs separated, two little dogs. But it really helps her. And so she goes to the door. She goes, bye. Like assertive now. And I'm like, oh, you want to go outside? Oh my goodness. And then she's like, bye. And then I look at her and I grab her little like Crocs and she picks up her foot like, yeah, put that on my foot. And then we walk over to the garage and I'm like, well, you know what? I usually check the mail on Sundays because we have mail that you have to like go to. It's not right next to us. So I'm like, all right, let's go check the mail. She goes right into her little coche, her little stroller, for those that don't know. And it is the funniest, cutest thing. She's like, let's go. Like, I was missing her hat and her sunglasses. She was out. And I said to my husband, come on, let's go take a walk. I had to laugh. I had to. Let me tell you why. A couple things. Children. Children learn a lot by watching. But some parents, especially new parents, and I got to give it to new parents, don't know to see the clues or the cues. A lot of our children are ready for anything as early as 4 or 5 months. Once they hold their little head up, they're explorers. And I have this belief that, I'll give my baby a little talk here and there, but I keep it real with my children. Like, we have conversations. And then when I am talking about something serious, I'll say, well, what do you think about that? What's the general opinion here? Do we all agree? I keep it very much like that in my state of union in my house. I want to know what's on everyone's mind. Are we jiving? It's important to me to understand that we're always on the same page. And as a parent, I make decisions a lot, but I would hate to say, okay, everyone, today we're going to eat here and eat there and do this and do that. And then someone is not happy with that agenda. Everybody, even though their children have a right to a say, some may say they don't got no right, they don't pay. Yeah, that's true. I can see that. And you can have a hostile household too. Or you can have a peaceful environment where your children respect you. They don't fear you. They love you. Sometimes they can get a little high, at a off end. But there's a mutual like honor code. That's what we have here. And so for her, she's also into CoComelon. And I say this all the time. I love CoComelon. I do. But not only she likes CoComelon, she's 1 year old. CoComelon comes on. If you're happy, clap your hands. There she goes clapping. She's clapping. Then I hear A is for apple. She's over here passing me an apple. She identifies her cognitive learning. Some people say, well, my children don't know anything until they're in school. Or no, I read to my children all the time. And when they're little, I read to them. And then I read them sometimes the same stories. And there's usually a part that's a crazy part in the story. And I highlight that part where everybody in the house is like, whatever that part is. It's so important because our children are absorbing all the time. And some may say, you give your child a tablet? Well, it was my tablet. She could have it. Who cares? But it doesn't hurt. She's not on it all day. And what is she watching? CoComelon? Minnie Mouse? There's nothing there that's going to harm her because I have a program there. But, you don't got to pay for anything fancy. I gave her a marker. She drew on her little She drew on her paper. She starts drawing, and then I grab her hand and I let her feel out how you make strokes. Then she's making strokes. Thank God it was washable marker because she went a little crazy with that one. She looked like an avatar. She painted her whole face blue. But I gave her the opportunity to explore. Sometimes in our homes, we're very rigid. Don't do that. Don't do this. I get that. I can see why you do that. You don't need to. And then I have a strict policy. Here's my policy that you've heard me say a million times. You want to be a successful mom? You want to be a successful business person? You want to be successful and not go crazy? When that child naps, you nap. That's it. Listen, if nothing else is going on and she's about to take a nap, go take a nap. That's not the time to send the email. Those are not the times. Because mentally, your brain needs to come down. You have a lot going on. And sometimes as moms and wives, we have so much that we're responsible for. Our burden of information is so great and large that we continuously burden ourselves. And then our friends who don't have children, straight up, don't understand. Or our spouses sometimes don't understand. That's okay. They have their own agendas. We have to understand that. You need to know and identify what are your triggers, what are your identifiers, and work on those. But back to the children. The other day I was telling my son something, my little son, and he got upset. Then he got upset. And I was like, wow, you've been upset all day, huh? And he's like, yeah, everything I say is wrong. And I'm like, you know what? That's not it. What's it is, I think your computer's not working. And he was like, what are you talking about? And I said, your computer doesn't work, does it? He has a new computer. And he's looking at me like, no. And I'm like, your computer doesn't work. That's what's going on here. And he's like, what are you talking about? So then my husband gets up and he's like, oh, his screen was off. So my little son didn't realize his screen shut off and he thought his computer was broken. But he was all up in it. Hey, you want to do this? You want to do that? Usually at this time, he might play a video game. He might do some reading lessons. But he's not knowing what to do with his energy. And this child will go play on the bicycle, basketball, like 1,000 things. But in this moment, his pattern is this is what he does. He'll do his reading time, whatever it is on the computer. So now what he sees is he has nothing to do. He's in the space, he has all this energy. And then he says, I said to him, and you probably think I'm giving all my attention to the baby. And he's like, yeah. And I said, but that's not it. I said, the baby, we have to pay attention to her because she's a baby. She doesn't know things. And look at your older brothers. We give them love and respect, but we're not on their back. And you're at this crossroad right now as a child that you're about to be completely independent of me. You'll know everything. And sometimes you still need me to make you breakfast. I said, that's where you are right now. But today I was able to just look and know exactly what the problem was because that's normally what he does. His routine, his pattern. As soon as that was fixed, he was like, yeah, it was a little too much today. And he owned it. Sometimes we don't see the cue or the clue that our child is giving us because we're so caught up. And I have this other rule that whenever I'm around my kids, I put my phone away. I put it away. I don't want my phone. If I'm watching TV or if I'm cleaning, whatever I'm doing, I don't want my phone. Unless I'm about to relax 100%, like I am sitting down, I have a coffee or a drink, like a hot tea, because I only drink coffee, hot tea, and water, and I'm about to just totally become a part of the couch or something of that nature, maybe I'll take out my phone. And the only other time I take out my phone is if I'm about to go to sleep. I just want to make sure I do a quick check, and then for business. Other than that, I want to know what's going on. So it's kind of funny because I often see these things in my children. And I often see, like, here comes another kid ready to graze. Why is he grazing? Well, he didn't have the day. He didn't start his day with protein. These are these little things that I just laugh at, because now, being a mom of 4 kids, I've learned so much that I didn't know with my first son. That now I'm like, my baby's talking baby talk, and I'm like, no, she's not. She literally said she wants water. I go grab her water. She's like, yay. Everyone's like, how the heck did you hear water there? That's the thing. After all this experience for the past 16 years with my children and 20, 30 years with other people's children, being an auntie, a titi, and everything to people, you learn. You really do. And I gotta tell you, yesterday was just a great feeling seeing my baby girl like that. This was just a quick one. I'm gonna come back to you in a bit. But I want to let you know, we need to press pause sometimes and really check in. You have that 1-minute meeting with your manager, but do you have that 1-minute meeting with your family? Sometimes I sit all my kids down and my husband like, look, let's just have a quick meeting, have a quick conversation. Just wanted to check in with everybody. Are we on time with our schedules? Are we on route? Everybody has what they need. You have gas in your car. You have this, you have that, whatever it is. Did you make an appointment with your counselor? Like, I really like to check in. I don't let my children go too many days without a check-in. It's important that they have a routine, but not only that, it's important that they have a foundation that they feel they can tap into and trust. You understand? It's so important. You don't got to go there. I'm right here. What do you need? Even if my bridge seems shaky, their bridge will always be a strong foundation. We always have to think about these things. You don't need to put it on your kids, but you can lift your kids up and have them own responsibility to help you understand and move forward. I tell you, I love my family. I really do. And I hope that if you're having struggles or anything with your own family, you're able to tap in today and see for yourself really what you can change, what you can highlight, what you can take away. One last thing I have often to say. I'll tell my kids, you don't need that no more. Throw that out. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Sometimes we have so much baggage in our own brains. Don't dump on yourself so much. And going forward, I don't want to hear, I'm this, I'm that. No, it has to be a positive affirmation you tell yourself. I'm amazing. I'm awesome. I'm smart. I'm creative. I'm beautiful. You know what I mean? You have to do that for yourself because sometimes no one else will. And even if many people will, you got to remember you. Okay? All right. Well. I'm going to go drink this coffee and a little coffee talk. Y'all have an amazing day. This is just the start of mine. And we'll be chatting because I'm going to go ahead and enjoy this fantastic life of mine on my journey. How about yours?